So just as the right is losing their mind over Representative Cori Bush and Ilhan Omar posting an ode to the soldiers and saying, how dare you recognize Memorial Day in that way? Take a look at the stuff that Donald Trump was posting. Can you imagine a president of the United States who got more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country, which is not true because Joe Biden is now the sitting president and he got way more votes than you, dummy. And who is also the Republican nominee, blah, 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 blah. Something, Soros back DA, the judge himself. According to virtually all legal scholars and experts, there is no crime or case against President Trump, which is me. I can see why he'd be confused about that. And if there was, it should have been brought 7 years ago, not in the middle of his campaign for president. Prosecutorial misconduct, election interference. That stays up. Representatives Ilhan Omar and Cori Bush's messages saying that we should do better by our soldiers gets taken down.
Hey, I'm glad you're here. Listen, in order for the damage report to keep on going, we need viewers like you to become a member on YouTube. Can you click the join button on YouTube today? Thank you.
This guy, who as we'll get to and you probably remember, didn't serve and makes a mockery of the very idea of service in the military or anywhere else, is talking about how this is election interference. It gets even worse though, because he does eventually get around to acknowledging the holiday, saying, Happy Memorial Day to all, including the human scum that is working so hard to destroy our once great country, and to the radical left Trump-hating federal judge in New York that presided over, get this, 2 separate trials. What are you, a kid in the late 80s with your get this? Yeah, we know about the trials. We delighted in the trials, buddy. That awarded a woman who I never met before a quick handshake at a celebrity event 25 years ago. Doesn't count. $91 million for defamation. Blah, 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 blah. I point that out because not only is he turning from the briefest acknowledgement of Memorial Day possibly to the concept of human scum, but then he decides to double down on attacking the woman in the exact same way that has already led to him owing nearly $100 million to her. He just tells those lies again. So we have a holiday where you are supposed to stop for a moment and recognize the fact that we have soldiers who have paid the ultimate price, made the ultimate sacrifice for their country. And the people who do that in a way where they're like, well, then let's be good to them while they're alive. Screw you. But the guy who starts talking about the fact that he had to pay money decades after raping a woman, he's cool. He's a good guy. No notes on the Truth Social posts. I'll remind you, he is the guy that allegedly said that Americans who died in war are losers and suckers. I don't want to go there. Why? They're just a bunch of losers when talking about going to a memorial cemetery. That was back on September 3rd of 2020. And look, that is hardly the only way that he has, I would say, perpetually invalidated him weighing in on anything having to do with Memorial Day of the Veterans or Soldiers or anything. I'll remind you, he also got multiple draft deferments because, as he put it, he had a foot thing. He mocked John McCain for daring to be caught. He said he likes pilots that weren't caught. He mocked Gold Star parents. He literally mocked the grieving survivor who lost a soldier. He mocked them. He says he knows more than the generals. Screw the generals, screw the soldiers. They're stupid, and obviously he thinks that. He's never served. Do you even know a person in his extended family that served? Which is fine. I didn't serve. But I also don't try to garb myself in being like the most pro soldier as I'm using my foot thing to get out of serving and then spending the rest of my life mocking the people who fought for America's freedom. And honestly, if you want to attack all of these and say that none of these social media posts meet your crazy high standard for how we should honor the vets or whatever on Memorial Day, then at least be consistent. But if you're gonna have a problem with Cori Bush and Ilhan Omar, you damn sure better have a problem with this. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?